Breakups, those two syllables carry a weight that can crush even the most resilient hearts. Have you ever found yourself staring at your phone, wondering why someone who was once your everything has now become a stranger? The pain feels insurmountable, doesn't it? Sleepless nights, endless questions, and a void that seems impossible to fill. What if I told you that the solution isn't found in distractions or rebound relationships, but within yourself? Yes, within your very core lies the power to rise, to heal, and to transform. Now, here's the truth no one tells you. Most of the suffering after a breakup doesn't come from the breakup itself. It stems from the stories we spin in our minds, the regrets, the what-ifs, the fantasies of what could have been. But what if you could stop the cycle? What if there were a way to not only survive but thrive after heartbreak? Enter Stoicism, the ancient philosophy that has guided warriors, emperors, and thinkers through life's toughest trials. Stoicism offers us tools to navigate our emotional storms, tools that don't rely on luck or external validation but on inner mastery. And today we'll uncover 8 transformative Stoic lessons to help you move past the heartbreak and rediscover your strength. These aren't abstract theories, they're practical, actionable steps that you can implement starting today. So, are you ready to take the first step toward reclaiming your power? Let's dive into the first lesson, a game changer that will shift your perspective on pain entirely. Lesson 1. Embrace your emotions. Have you ever been told to man up or just get over it? Society often paints emotional expression, especially in men, as a sign of weakness. But here's the twist. Bottling up your feelings doesn't make you stronger, it keeps you stuck. Imagine trying to heal a wound while refusing to acknowledge it even exists. The same applies to your emotional scars. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you allowed yourself to truly feel? To let the tears flow without judgment, without labeling yourself as weak or dramatic. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest champions, wasn't afraid to cry. Yes, the same emperor who commanded armies and led an empire also embraced his emotions. Why? Because he understood that to feel is to be human. Here's the beauty of it. When you allow yourself to experience your emotions fully, you begin to process them. It's like releasing steam from a pressure cooker. The weight of your sadness, anger, or confusion doesn't disappear overnight, but it becomes lighter. You start to understand that these emotions, as intense as they may feel, are transient. They're like waves crashing against the shore, powerful but temporary. Now think about your breakup. What emotions are you avoiding? Is it the guilt of things left unsaid? The rage of betrayal? Or perhaps the despair of losing what you thought was your future? Whatever it is, name it. Own it. Because once you do, you'll find that these emotions lose their grip on you. They stop dictating your every move and start becoming signals, indicators of what matters most to you. Here's a challenge for you. Take 10 minutes today, sit in silence, and reflect on how you're truly feeling. No distractions, no social media, just you and your thoughts. Write down everything that comes to mind. Don't censor yourself. This practice alone can be incredibly freeing. And remember, embracing your emotions isn't about wallowing in self-pity. It's about giving yourself the space to heal authentically. Once you face the storm, you'll realize you're stronger than you ever imagined. The question is, are you brave enough to take that first step? Stay with me, because this is just the beginning. In the next lesson, we'll tackle a common trap that keeps people chained to their pain long after the breakup is over. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Lesson 2. Don't suffer in your imagination. How often do you catch yourself replaying past moments like an endless movie? The way they smiled during your first date, the words exchanged during your last argument, or even the tiny, seemingly insignificant details that now haunt you. Be honest, does this constant mental loop bring you any closer to peace? Or does it deepen the ache, fueling the fire of regret and longing? Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This wisdom couldn't be more relevant to breakups. The truth is, much of your pain doesn't stem from the actual events, but from how you interpret and relive them in your mind. Every time you replay those memories, you breathe life into a ghost that should have been laid to rest. Here's the kicker. Your imagination can be both your greatest ally and your worst enemy. Right now, it might feel like the latter, conjuring scenarios of what could have been or what went wrong. But what if you could redirect this mental energy? Instead of torturing yourself with hypotheticals, you could use it to build a more resilient mindset. Let's get practical. Are you still obsessively checking their social media, scrolling through old photos or rereading messages? Each time you do this, you're anchoring yourself to the past, feeding the very pain you're trying to escape. It's time to break free. Consider this. Deactivate your accounts for a while, or, at the very least, mute their profile. Out of sight, out of mind isn't just a cliche, it's a strategy. And what about your daily routine? Do thoughts of your ex flood your mind first thing in the morning? Try this. Instead of lying in bed scrolling through memories, get up and go for a brisk walk. Feel the air on your skin, focus on your breath, and let the movement clear your mind. Action breaks the cycle of rumination. Here's where Stoicism comes into play again. You can't control the past, but you can control how much power you give it. Every time you resist the urge to spiral into painful memories, you reclaim a piece of your peace. It's not easy, but every small victory counts. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you caught yourself stuck in these mental loops? What triggers bring up the most painful memories for you? Share your experience in the comments. Not only will this help you reflect, but your story might resonate with someone else walking the same path. If this lesson struck a chord, give this video a like. It's a simple way to show that you're ready to take charge of your emotional journey. And don't stop there. Comment below about one small action you'll take today to stop suffering in your imagination. Together, we'll break free from these mental chains and step into a brighter, more resilient future. Lesson 3. Avoid self-destructive behaviors. Let's be real, when heartbreak hits, it's tempting to look for quick fixes. Maybe you've thought about sending one last text, hoping for closure or rekindling what's lost. Or perhaps you've drowned your sorrows in a bottle, believing for a moment that the haze will dull the pain. But deep down, you know these actions don't heal, they hurt. They prolong the suffering, dragging you deeper into the emotional abyss. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wisely observed, "How much more harmful are the consequences of anger and grief than the circumstances that arouse them?" In other words, it's not just the breakup that causes pain, it's how we respond to it. Self-destructive behaviors, though they may feel like temporary relief, ultimately worsen the wound. Think about it. Every time you text your ex out of desperation, what do you feel afterward? Relief? Or a fresh wave of regret and rejection? And when the alcohol wears off, does it leave you any closer to peace? Or does it amplify the emptiness? These habits might seem like coping mechanisms, but they're traps, pulling you further from the healing you crave. Here's the tough love you need. Healing requires discipline. It's about resisting the impulses that lead to more pain. This doesn't mean you should suppress your feelings or pretend you're fine. Instead, it's about channeling your energy into actions that build you up, not break you down. Start small. The next time you're tempted to reach out to your ex, pause. Take a deep breath and remind yourself of Marcus Aurelius' words. Ask yourself, will this action bring me closer to peace, or will it add fuel to my pain? Most often, you'll find that the best course of action is inaction. And what about those nights when the silence feels unbearable? Instead of reaching for a drink, try something different. Go for a run, pick up a book, or journal your thoughts. These activities may not provide instant relief, but they help you process your emotions in a healthier way. Over time, they'll build a sense of inner strength and resilience. Remember, every choice you make in the aftermath of a breakup is either a step toward healing or a step back into pain. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Each time you resist a self-destructive impulse, you're training your mind to prioritize long-term peace over short-term comfort. This is where true growth begins. In the words of Stoicism, your power lies not in controlling the events around you, but in mastering your reaction to them. And in this mastery, you'll find a strength that no heartbreak can take away. Lesson 4. Focus on the present. When your heart is heavy with loss, the present moment often feels like the last place you want to be. Your mind races ahead to a future filled with uncertainty. Will I ever find someone else? Or lingers in the past, dissecting every conversation, every mistake. But have you noticed that the more you dwell on what's gone or what's yet to come, the more distant peace seems? The present, however, holds a quiet power that many overlook. Marcus Aurelius offers a profound reminder. Don't let your reflection on the whole sweep of life crush you. Stay focused on the present situation and ask yourself why it's so unbearable and can't be survived. These words are a call to embrace the now, to narrow your focus from the overwhelming entirety of life to the simple, manageable tasks right in front of you. Consider this. What if, instead of worrying about the months ahead or reliving the breakup's worst moments, you turned your attention to the small, tangible actions you can take today? It might sound trivial, but even something as mundane as washing the dishes or taking a walk can anchor you to the present. These acts, though simple, remind you that life continues to unfold, moment by moment, regardless of the pain you carry. Stoicism teaches us that the present is the only time truly within our control. The past is fixed and the future is uncertain, but the now is where life happens. When you immerse yourself in the present, you strip anxiety of its power. You shift from passive suffering to active living. Here's a practical approach. Break your day into small, achievable tasks. Start with something basic, making your bed, preparing a meal, or completing a work assignment. As you focus on these tasks, notice how your mind quiets. The chatter about what was or what might be fades, replaced by a calm sense of purpose. This isn't about distracting yourself or avoiding your feelings. It's about creating a balance, giving your mind a chance to rest from the emotional storm. Over time, these small moments of presence accumulate, helping you rebuild a sense of normalcy and control. But focusing on the present goes beyond daily tasks. It's also about recognizing the beauty in life's simplest details. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of leaves rustling in the wind, the comfort of a good meal. These are all reminders that joy can coexist with pain. By grounding yourself in these experiences, you open your heart to the possibility of healing. Ultimately, focusing on the present doesn't mean you'll never think about the past or worry about the future. It means you'll have a tool to bring yourself back to the here and now, where true peace resides. In this space, you'll discover that you're more resilient than you think, capable of facing life's challenges one moment at a time. Lesson 5. Let go of resentment. Let's face it, anger can be intoxicating. When someone hurts you, especially someone you love deeply, it's easy to cling to resentment. You replay their words, their actions, fueling a fire that keeps burning long after the relationship ends. It might even feel justified. After all, they caused the pain. But here's the truth. Holding on to resentment doesn't harm them. It harms you. Ask yourself this. Has dwelling in anger ever made you feel better? Has plotting revenge or mentally rehashing arguments ever brought you peace? Likely not. That's because resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It traps you in the past, shackling your growth and preventing you from moving forward. Here's where Stoicism offers a lifeline. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. In other words, the most powerful response isn't retaliation, it's rising above. By letting go of your anger, you free yourself from its grip and reclaim your energy for what truly matters, your own healing and growth. But how do you release resentment when the hurt feels so raw? One powerful method is through symbolic rituals. For instance, try writing down everything you're angry about, every grievance, every pain, and then destroy the paper. Burn it, shred it, or toss it away. This act isn't just symbolic, it sends a message to your mind that you're ready to release these emotions and move on. Another approach is to practice empathy. This doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, but it does mean recognizing that the person who hurt you is flawed, just like you. They acted from their own fears, insecurities, or misunderstandings. By seeing their humanity, you begin to dissolve the walls of anger and open the door to acceptance. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you struggled with letting go of resentment after a breakup? What rituals or strategies have helped you release that anger? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience could provide comfort and guidance to someone else navigating the same storm. If this lesson resonated with you, show some love by hitting that like button. And let's start a conversation. What's one small step you'll take today to let go of resentment? Your journey might inspire others to take their first step toward freedom. Lesson 6. Change your perspective. When faced with heartbreak, it's easy to feel like the world is conspiring against you. The breakup becomes a towering obstacle, casting a shadow over every part of your life. But what if the breakup isn't the end of your story, but rather the beginning of a new chapter? This shift in thinking might seem impossible at first, but as Epictetus wisely said, we cannot control the external events around us, but we can control our reactions to them. The power to change your perspective lies entirely within you. Think about this. Life is full of uncontrollable events. People leave, circumstances change, and plans fall apart. Yet within these moments of chaos and loss, there's an opportunity for growth. The breakup, painful as it may be, is a chance to reflect, to learn, and to evolve. It's an invitation to examine your values, your desires, and your boundaries in relationships. Let's put this into practice. Imagine your ex said something during the breakup that deeply hurt you. Perhaps it's a phrase that replays in your mind, eroding your self-esteem or making you question your worth. You have a choice here. You can let their words define you, or you can reframe them. Instead of viewing their hurtful comment as a reflection of your shortcomings, see it as a reflection of their own struggles or limitations. This doesn't diminish the pain but helps you detach from it, understanding that their words don't hold absolute truth. Similarly, consider the breakup as a training ground. Life will throw challenges your way. Friends, family, or even future partners may say or do things that hurt. By using this breakup as an opportunity to practice resilience and forgiveness, you're better preparing yourself for the road ahead. Every setback becomes a lesson, every hurtful word a chance to grow stronger. Reframing doesn't mean denying your pain or pretending everything is fine. It means choosing to see the broader picture, to understand that this moment, however difficult, is just one piece of your journey. It's about finding meaning in adversity and recognizing that even the darkest chapters serve a purpose in shaping who you are. This shift in perspective won't happen overnight. It's a process of consistently challenging your thoughts, questioning your assumptions, and finding the silver linings in your experiences. Over time, you'll notice a change. The breakup, once a source of despair, will start to feel less like a burden and more like a stepping stone toward a better version of yourself. And here's the beauty of it. When you change your perspective, you change your reality. You begin to see that life isn't happening to you but for you. Each challenge is an opportunity, each loss a lesson. Through this lens, the breakup becomes not an end, but a new beginning, a chance to rebuild, stronger and wiser than before. Lesson 7. Express gratitude. Gratitude during heartbreak. At first glance, it might seem absurd. How can you feel thankful when you've just lost something, or someone so significant? Yet it's precisely in these moments of loss that gratitude can become one of your most powerful tools for healing and transformation. Marcus Aurelius invites us to reflect. When you wake up in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Even amid pain, life offers countless small joys and comforts that we often overlook. The breakup may have taken something from you, but it hasn't stripped you of everything. And in recognizing what remains, you begin to shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. Let's explore this idea further. Breakups often leave us dwelling on what we no longer have. The shared moments, the future plans, the intimacy. But what if, instead of fixating on what's gone, you turned your attention to what's still here? The friends who support you, the family that loves you, the passions and hobbies that bring you joy. Even the simple pleasure of a sunny day or a quiet evening can be a reminder of life's inherent richness. Gratitude, when practiced consistently, reshapes your mindset. It rewires your brain to notice and appreciate the positive, even in challenging times. This doesn't mean ignoring your pain or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it's about balancing the weight of your sorrow with the lightness of life's gifts. Start small. Each morning or evening, take a few minutes to jot down 5 things you're grateful for. These don't have to be grand or profound. In fact, the smaller, more specific they are, the better. Perhaps it's the comfort of your favorite blanket, the laughter of a friend, or the satisfaction of a good meal. Over time, this simple practice builds a reservoir of positivity that can help carry you through even the darkest days. Gratitude also allows you to reframe your relationship with the past. Instead of seeing the breakup as a complete loss, you can begin to appreciate the good times you shared and the lessons learned. Every relationship, no matter how it ends, offers valuable insights about love, connection, and yourself. By focusing on these gifts, you honor the experience without being shackled by its ending. Moreover, gratitude brings you into the present. It reminds you that, despite your pain, life is still unfolding around you, filled with moments of beauty and connection. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already here, inviting you to fully engage with the life you're living now. In time, you'll find that gratitude not only soothes your heart, but also opens it. It fosters resilience, helping you navigate future challenges with greater grace and perspective. And perhaps most importantly, it reconnects you with life's deeper rhythms, reminding you that every ending carries the seeds of a new beginning. Through gratitude, you begin to see the breakup not as a defeat, but as a necessary step on your journey toward growth and fulfillment. Lesson 8. Embrace your emotions. When was the last time you let yourself really feel? Not just a fleeting pang of sadness or frustration, but the deep, raw emotions that come with heartbreak. For many, the instinct is to push these feelings aside, to bury them under distractions, or force yourself to move on. But here's the paradox. The more you suppress your emotions, the more they control you. Stoicism, contrary to popular belief, doesn't demand emotional suppression, it encourages emotional mastery. Marcus Aurelius, a pillar of Stoic philosophy, was no stranger to emotion. Despite his immense power as emperor, he often faced overwhelming grief and sadness. He did not shy away from these feelings, nor did he see them as a weakness. Instead, he embraced them, recognizing that emotions are an integral part of the human experience. To deny them is to deny your humanity. Let's take a moment to challenge a common misconception. Does crying make you weak? Does admitting that you're hurt somehow diminish your strength? The answer, of course, is no. Allowing yourself to cry, to mourn, to feel anger or sadness is not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to your courage. It takes bravery to confront your pain head-on, to sit with discomfort rather than fleeing from it. Here's a vital truth. Emotions are like waves. They rise, crest, and eventually fall. By allowing yourself to fully experience them, you give them the space to pass through you. It's only when you resist, when you try to block or ignore these feelings, that they become overwhelming and stagnant. So, how do you embrace your emotions in a healthy, constructive way? Start by creating a safe space for emotional expression. This could be through journaling, where you pour out your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Or perhaps through a form of creative expression, painting, music, or even physical movement like dance. These outlets allow you to process what you're feeling in a way that feels authentic to you. Another powerful tool is mindfulness. When you feel a wave of sadness or anger approaching, instead of immediately reacting, take a moment to observe it. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it a tightness in your chest, a lump in your throat? By identifying and acknowledging these sensations, you create a sense of detachment. You realize that you are not your emotions, you are simply experiencing them. And remember, embracing your emotions doesn't mean wallowing in them indefinitely. It's about striking a balance, allowing yourself to feel deeply while also recognizing when it's time to shift your focus. Emotions are visitors, not permanent residents. They're here to teach you something, to help you grow. But once their lesson is learned, it's time to let them go. In the grand scheme of healing, embracing your emotions is a critical step. It helps you process the pain of the breakup, making space for new insights and growth. Through this process, you'll find that your emotional resilience strengthens. You'll no longer fear the intensity of your feelings because you'll know that you have the power to navigate them. As we close this chapter on Stoic lessons, remember this. Stoicism isn't about becoming immune to life's hardships. It's about facing them with grace, courage, and wisdom. Each of these 8 lessons is a stepping stone on your journey to recovery, helping you move beyond heartbreak and toward a life of greater fulfillment and peace. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoic principles. If these lessons have resonated with you, I encourage you to share your experiences and insights. Let's continue to learn and grow together, embracing the wisdom of Stoicism as we navigate life's challenges. Wishing you strength, clarity, and the resilience to face whatever comes your way.